What's up, guys? Mickle here. And one thing that is extremely common in today's day and age is the largest institutions, the largest banks, and the governments talking out of both sides of their mouths. We see that during every single bear market, we see a lot of the institutions saying cryptocurrencies are dead. No one is ever going to touch these things. See, we were right. But then behind the scenes, they are building up critical infrastructure, taking over exchanges, and building the rails for a brand new financial system based on cryptocurrencies. In this video, I want to share with you a perfect example of that these elite level people know where we're going. They just don't want you to know about it. I also want to go over a pretty interesting discussion going on in the cryptocurrency community, specifically the XRP community, and that is whether or not we should be focusing only on Ripple, or are the projects building on the XRP ledger more important to price appreciation. In this video, I'm going to go over that and kind of just hit on my thoughts around this. It's really created a pretty big divide in this community, so I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. Like always, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start off with kind of the controversial part of this video, and that is whether or not we should be focusing on Ripple to increase the price of XRP or other projects building on the XRP ledger. And I think this is a pretty interesting discussion because price appreciation for XRP has been extremely confusing and no one's really been able to pinpoint on what increases the price of XRP. Ripple will come out with major announcements all the time that I think should increase the price of XRP and don't. And we've also seen a 10x to 20x of projects building on the XRP ledger, and even that really hasn't led to an increase in the price of XRP. So a lot of people in the XRP community have kind of been saying people are too hyper-focused on Ripple, they're not paying enough attention to the projects building on the XRP ledger, and that's why we really haven't seen a price increase in XRP. Now, I'm not saying this is what Panos or King Solomon are saying. They are 100% spot on with what they're saying, that it's so important to focus on the XRP ledger itself, but it's just a general discussion going around these topics that I want to cover. So I just want to quickly go over something that I discovered the other day that I think is pretty interesting, and that's if we just take a look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap. Well, the number one cryptocurrency by market cap is Bitcoin, and no one is building on Bitcoin. Now, if we take a look at the number two cryptocurrency, it's Ethereum. There are a lot of people building on Ethereum. So 1 and 2, it really doesn't make a difference on market cap if people are building on it or not. No one's building on Bitcoin. It's the number one. A ton of people are building on Ethereum. It's the standard for development, and it's the number two. So are developers directly linked to price appreciation of a cryptocurrency? I don't think so, because we can even go down a couple spaces and then we see Dogecoin. No one's building on Dogecoin, and it's the number 8 cryptocurrency above a project like Polkadot, which has the second most developers. So I'm not saying that we shouldn't focus on developers, and I'm not even saying that I don't think developers are important or building projects on these networks is important. I think it's extremely important, and in the long run, I think that will increase the price of XRP. I just think it's so interesting. If you look at market cap today, these cryptocurrencies really don't reflect that. We have the biggest cryptocurrency out there, doesn't have any projects building on it, and it still has the largest market cap. Meanwhile, the projects with the most development can't seem to pass projects that have no development. I just thought that was a pretty interesting dichotomy. My personal thoughts are general adoption of the XRP ledger is going to increase price over time, whether it's Ripple, whether it's the smaller projects, or whether it's just us using XRP and investing in it in our daily lives. I think all of that stuff added together will increase the price of XRP. Now, me personally, the reason why I mostly focus on Ripple and the XRP ledger and not a lot of the smaller projects is just because I see a lot of these smaller projects right now as pretty risky. Some of them are doing very cool things and I'm very excited about them. I'm just hesitant to talk about them on this channel because they're micro cap coins. They don't have a lot of users, their founders aren't super well known, they don't have track records, and the cryptocurrency space is risky enough. XRP is a blue chip cryptocurrency and it's extremely volatile. So I just like to take a little more of a cautious approach. I'm really excited for the day when I can talk more about these projects and really give them the attention they deserve. Right now in a bear market, I just don't feel comfortable shilling a lot of them. And while they might be doing things I'm really excited about, I'd really just rather focus on Ripple at the moment because they're the most institutionally ready project using the XRP ledger. I want to move on though and kind of move on to something that I think is pretty interesting, and that's how the most powerful institutions in the entire world think about cryptocurrencies. Christine Lagarde and the IMF have been saying forever, we are not going to be paying attention to cryptocurrencies. They're not going to change our financial system. But I just want to show you how they talk out of both sides of their mouths. 4 years ago, Christine Lagarde, the same person that said cryptocurrencies will not have a place in our financial system, said the banking system is transforming thanks to new technologies like digital currencies. I've also seen this same lady in an interview say that projects like Circle, like Ripple, are going to be critical to changing the financial system. Now, this was 4 years ago, so maybe your thoughts have changed, but just today, Megan dug up another post where IMF's Georgina defends cryptocurrencies after the most recent crash because they're faster and lower cost. The main thing I'm really trying to show you here, and I think it's so important, is cryptocurrencies are the new rails to our financial system. They're drastically more efficient, they're faster, and they're cheaper, and all the big institutions know it. The main reason why they put out so much FUD and try to say things like, oh, they're going away, they're not going to have a place, is simply because retail beat them in. This is one of the few asset classes out there where retail was actually able to get exposure before these players, and because of that, they can't build these systems in public. They can't come out and say, oh, we're going to use XRP, or obviously it would skyrocket the price. They need to be able to build their position in the back end. They need to be able to build their systems in quiet and hope retail doesn't catch on. That's why when we catch them slipping up, we see them name dropping Ripple. We see Ripple all over their documents, and we see Ripple meeting with them all the time. It's because they know this is where the future is at. They know these are the technologies that are going to transform the system, but they cannot let us know. If they let us know, then we just front run them. We beat them in. Typically in these financial systems that we've had in the past, these new innovations, they were centralized, and these people were essentially able to keep us out. They were able to say, okay, we're building these things, we're investing in these things, but you can't touch them until we're ready. That's the whole stock market. These companies, these institutions invest in private equity. They say you can't get in because you're not accredited. They build their positions, and once they're ready, they release it onto the public market. This is what they would have loved to done with cryptocurrencies, but they couldn't because they're decentralized and permissionless in nature. Because of that, they have to go out of their way to fund cryptocurrencies. They need to go out of their way to act like they're not going to use them or they're not going to be acceptable in the system we're heading into. But in the background, they are saying things like this, and we're catching them because they know it's the future. And just know this isn't some publication in the United States. They would never publish this in the United States. It's the South China Morning Post. Other countries are a lot more transparent with how they're talking about these things. You can talk to people anywhere else in the world and they understand the change that's happening behind the scenes. It's just, especially in the United States, they really try to FUD this stuff and they really try to keep us out. Like I said, the only reason they're doing that, the only reason they even waste their time pushing this FUD is because they actually feel like they need to. If this was really some nothing burger and it was something to be ignored, they wouldn't even talk about it. It would be a waste of their time. They brush it to the side and say, we don't even need to address this. Instead, they're constantly pushing FUD. They're constantly trying to scare people because they know we're smart enough to realize what's happening. They know we see the transformation. They're trying to hold it off as long as possible as they take their final steps to build out these systems. But at the end of the day, I think we all know what's coming. And most importantly, we all know the companies that are going to benefit the most. It's the people who have been working with these guys since day one, the Circles, the Ripples, the people who have focused on regulations, focused on actually doing things the right way. And that's why over the long run, I am so confident companies like Ripple and digital assets like XRP are going to win out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.